the chosen one. God saw you before the idea crossed your lips, before the concern wrapped around your heart, and before the world heard your wordless scream for help. The Almighty observed that you had not been forgotten. You haven't been ignored. Your name was always written in the holy register of precedence. What you're going to step into is no coincidence. This is confirmation. You're not guessing anymore. You aren't hoping with empty hands. You may be assured that all of heaven has united to offer you this message. Your waiting period has fulfilled its function. The tears are for the evenings, the perplexity, and the locked doors. They were all paving the way for the solution that is now heading your way. The chosen one. Stay with this video till the conclusion and send your best wishes. 777 in the comments. As we utter words of faith together, something tremendous starts to happen. Desires materialize, energy moves, and the cosmos is electrified by our alignment. Now choose one. I like this video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, don't worry, the solution isn't on the way. The solution is already here. Your spirit has sensed what is moving, which is why it has felt heavy recently, like waves smashing over each other. It is more than simply a sensation. This is a spiritual recognition. You were always supposed to receive, but now you're experiencing it. It's here right now, and God's voice is stronger than the doubts that sought to drown you out. He noticed you, and He did more than simply recognize your grief. He replied with a release. This is a lovely reminder to relax. You are letting go of control rather than giving up. You don't need to figure everything out. That was never your assignment. You're not here to shoulder every load. You are here to believe, to be open and trust the unfolding. God's response does not always manifest itself in a loud and clear manner. Sometimes tranquility replaces worry. Sometimes you get an unexpected call. Other times it is tranquil, knowing that your life is going to transform into a gift. It has been circling the selected one. Don't hurry it. You've already gotten over whatever was attempting to stop you. The salt was not just random. It was a response. Your breakthrough evoked spiritual feeling. And your feelings of resistance were really a sign that you were getting closer than before. You weren't being punished. You were being positioned. And now that posture reveals why the wait was worthwhile. God saw your vision. Every buried fantasy, every quiet moment. Please, not only did He see, He took action. This is not the kind of activity that must be seen to be believed. This is the kind of divine intervention that occurs quietly behind the scenes before exploding into apparent reality. And it is going to erupt in your favor. That is why you are being advised to relax. You're in heavenly flow right now. You're not behind. You're not late. You are just where the miracle need you to be. Everything that was before unclear is about to make sense. People that walked away. Delays, possibilities that seem to disappear. All of this is part of a pattern that goes right to your solution. That is why everything is now aligning so precisely. That's why signs keep popping up. That is why you have been reminded so often recently that you are a chosen one. Because you are. And once you've been selected, nothing can stop you from receiving what you deserve. So lean into this time with strong expectations. Say it in your spirit. Let it be your vibe. Let it be your posture. Use the special thanks button on YouTube together. Let us promote faith, hope, and love, bringing light not just into our own lives, but also to those who need it the most. Your donation provides a source of inspiration and healing for many individuals. This is your invitation to disconnect from the chaos, the overthinking, and the terror. Your soul was never meant to exist in survival mode indefinitely. And now that your spirit has grown out of the battle, you're transitioning into ease. That is not to say you will never confront a problem. However, this does not imply that the challenge may prevent the solution from being provided. That's already happening. You're in a new flow now. You stroll with a trusting vibe, and trust is the signal that unlocks the gate. The chosen one. This isn't your imagination. This is not only emotional hope. You are experiencing what is genuine. The change is real. The tranquility that continues to visit you. It is real. The nudges, the signals and messages. These are not simply coincidences. These are confirmations. The quiet had spoken. And now you're going to discover what the stillness was concealing. The blessing was never refused. It was being polished. And now it's coming in fantastic condition. Maintain stability. Stay available. Maintain a kind spirit. What's coming into your life doesn't need you to battle. It only demands your confidence. And you've got it. Even when you hesitated, your faith never wavered. It has been buried at times. Yes, it seemed remote. Yes, but it was always present. Beating like a silent drum within you, ready to rise again. And suddenly it is increasing. This is your time. Chosen one. This moment is precious. This isn't just another day. This is a heavenly timestamp. Something wonderful is occurring right now in your life, even if you cannot see it yet. But you will. And as it develops, you will grasp the reality. God noticed me and delivered a response. All I needed to do was trust. And you continue to walk in the environment of answered prayer. This is not the time to withdraw into fear or let previous setbacks sabotage your development. You are not who you used to be, and your present situation does not reflect what is going to happen. God saw the improved version of you before you ever realized it existed, and He created this opportunity for you to meet that version. You are powerful, courageous, spiritually alert, and magnetically connected. You choose one. Do not underestimate what is occurring. The spiritual strain you've been experiencing is not indicative of a delay. It's the last tug before release. You're being drawn toward purpose, tranquility, and provision. And it's larger than anything you've ever known. There's no reason to be concerned anymore. There's no need to overanalyze. Everything you need is already drawn to you. Connections, clarity, resources, and healing. You have reached the region of heavenly satisfaction. And from here, things go gracefully. No more straining, scrambling, or begging. Life will be nice to you. You are a godsend. You are the open door. When God stated it's time, He was referring to you specifically. You have been polished by the fire. And now you glow with insight, spiritual strength, and endurance. That radiance isn't just for you. It is a light that will lead others. But first, you will be blessed. It will surround you with everything you want, but in ways that go beyond your expectations. This is why the storms occurred. Not to shatter you, but to clarify your perspective. God had to delete certain things, people, patterns, and locations. Although it seemed like a loss, it was really a holy subtraction. What has been stolen from you was never supposed to go. You are heading to a place where only truth, alignment, and grace can survive. You're not entering a future based on hustling. You're entering a world powered by peace and divine strategy. You could feel tranquil, and that is the miracle. Peace is confirmation that heaven has already dealt with your previous overwhelming situation. When you quit attempting to push results and instead accept the flow of divine timing, things align in ways that logic could never predict. And that is precisely what is occurring right now. You are in divine harmony. The solution is not going to appear out of nowhere. It is being lived, inhaled, and carried with each stride. Let rid of the guilt associated with relaxing. Release the pressure to perform. Let go of the notion that blessings only arrive after fatigue. You've moved beyond that old thinking. You've completed the inner work. You've persevered through seasons when others would have given up. That perseverance was not unnoticed. Every time you continued believing, heaven documented it. It is now time for repayment in terms of peace, favor, and actual changes. This next chapter of your life will be so peaceful that you'll wonder how you lived in turmoil for so long. But do not worry. The chosen one. You needed to observe the difference because now the sweetness of heavenly calm will seem 10 times more important. This artwork did not come cheaply. It was acquired via your faith, submission, and spiritual perseverance. And it's here to stay. The chosen one. When God gives an answer, it does not cause confusion. It comes with a confirmation. You will not have to hunt it down. Don't overthink things or become stressed. You will feel it in your soul. You'll know it's the knowing season. The season of undeniable alignment. The season of no more asking when and beginning to exclaim, wow. Now let the past go. Let the future unfold. And let the present remind you that you are already in the midst of something wonderful. You did not miss anything. Nothing nice has passed you by. What you own remains yours. And it's coming at the most beautiful and wonderful time. The invisible world leads, guides, supports, and celebrates you. And the advice is mild. It is not a rush. It is patient because it understands where you are headed. And it knows you're prepared. Don't be shocked if fresh doors open without opposition. Favor discovers you in surprising ways. When delight begins to surge without explanation, it is not random. It is spiritual proof. You are following heavenly instructions. And when God saw you, He set that command in action. That is why you feel the change. Because anything was sin and is now close. You'll quickly understand that even your most difficult days were only chapters in a novel that ends happily. This is not a motivating statement. This is how your world is formed. Your energy is tremendous. Your submission is magnetic. Your trust is your passport to success. Keep showing up with faith. Continue to relax in knowing. Continue breathing. In truth, you are nearly there. And by nearly, I mean it is occurring right now. And now we've picked one. The earth underneath you is becoming hallowed. What seemed like wobbly uncertainty is now settling into heavenly assurance. You don't need to question it anymore. This is more than simply another optimistic moment. It's a complete unfolding. The solution you were looking for has already been delivered, and it is now inextricably linked to your destiny. Delays or denies the spiritual will. Traffic lights have gone green, and you are going ahead not by force, but by choice. This is how the transition feels. The strain starts to ease. The pressure that was there on your chest eases. You begin to catch your breath, not because of tiredness, but in astonishment. You begin to see indications, tiny ones, quiet ones, intimate ones, like that strange phone call that keeps coming up. That moment when you experience instantaneous clarity without explanation. These are not coincidences. They are signals. You are surrounded with spiritual confirmations. Throughout it all, God is communicating to your heart. Relax. I see you. I handled it. Now it is a new spiritual environment. You have entered. And in this environment, striving is no longer your identity. You aren't the only one struggling to make ends meet. You are not the one who is always trudging uphill with no reward. No, you are the one who created it. You are the one the enemy cannot stop. You are the one who gets heavenly downloads, aid, and favor. Without apologies, hesitations, or delays, you have entered a place for answered alignment. This suggests that the current opportunities are not random. They are custom-made apertures, created just for your soul's blueprint. That's why they seem so natural. That's why you shouldn't push them. You are no longer working for miracles. You are walking among miracles. They are not something to pursue. These are the things you attract. Because your energy has finally increased to match the frequency of what you've been calling in. The burden you formerly carried is no longer yours. Do not pick it back up. The world may be chaotic, but your spirit has moved on. You've been promoted to peace. And in that tranquility, solutions come easily. This does not imply that every moment will be flawless, but it indicates you're prepared to remain unshaken. You have learned to trust without seeing, and that faith has triggered invisible benefits that are coming toward you right now. This is the reward for every time you chose faith over fear, for every time you overcame the temptation to give up even when things appeared bleak. The response delivered to you is not tiny. It is monumental. Not just for what it offers, but also for what it demonstrates. You were heard. You were spotted. You were significant enough for the divine to take action. That's not what you imagine. That is something you embody. You are no longer in the backdrop of life. You are the focus of a heavenly tale that is now unfolding. People may not realize how rapidly things are changing for you. They may doubt it. They may whisper. Let them. You are not here to persuade anybody. You came here to live in the reality of what has already been written for you. What was written is this: you win through kindness rather than power or trickery. Mercy always manifests itself in unexpected ways. Take a deeper breath now. Smile more. Take a longer rest. Love yourself. Louder. The same cosmos that previously seemed remote is now working in your advantage. The God you called out to in quiet has responded in public. Now is not the time for skepticism. This is the moment to commemorate the unseen before it becomes the seen, because it will end shortly. The opponent attempted to persuade you that your delay constituted refusal, that your quiet meant desertion. But the fact is that you were never overlooked. You were being prepped, and that preparedness is now producing fruit. That explains why your soul feels different. That is why you aren't responding as you used to, because you've moved into alignment. You've walked into the solution. You have a shine now. It is not always evident to the outside world, but it is clear in the spiritual sphere. Angels recognize it. Energy reacts to it. Doors open for it. You are emitting the frequency of favor, and that favor acts as a magnet for manifestation. This light is a product of grace, and this grace will take you farther than any effort could. The chosen one. Here, this is evident. The struggling season is gone. You are no longer in that loop. You have graduated from the agony course, and now you are walking with knowledge. With each stride you take now, abundance echoes behind you. You no longer need to peek over your shoulder. What is behind you? I can't touch what's coming. And what's coming is stunning. More than what you asked for. Deeper than you imagined. Richer than you can imagine. And it's on time. Because God has never forgotten you. Not for 1 second. He was working as you waited. He was organizing while you were in pain. And now the arrangement is perfect. The solution is just at your door. The miracle has your name on it. And you thought the blessing was far away. It is right here. You have entered a new realm of life that you have chosen, not merely a new chapter. This is a brand new book. The previous version of you was struggling, surviving, hoping, and holding on. But this version of you is receiving. This version of you is grounded on truth. The fact is that God saw more than just your difficulty. He researched it. He read your heart. He looked beyond the artificial grins and heard the things you'd never dare to say. And he acted. Heaven's activities on your favor are now causing a miraculous domino effect. One item after another begins to make clear. Things that previously did not make sense are now becoming clear. Situations that previously made you cry are now part of your strength. People that departed were never genuinely committed to you. You previously questioned detours, but they were really disguised protection. You no longer wonder why things occurred. You understand why they had to. That is the power of divine reaction. God did not just send you an answer. He sent transformation. He communicated perspective. He caused such a profound alteration that even the old you would not recognize the person you are becoming today. The beauty of this method is that it is completely reversible. Once you've discovered your reality, you can't go back to false tales. Once you've experienced what it's like to be in harmony, you can no longer tolerate misunderstanding. That is why you have felt the need to let go, reset, and keep rising. You will. You are rising today, not because you battled harder, but because you yielded more deeply. You removed the illusion of control. You quit attempting to repair everything by yourself. And in that surrender, you made room for the supernatural to interfere. And that intervention is forceful, comprehensive, and intimate. Your response is not a recycled solution. It is custom. It was made to match the contours of your spirit. When it comes, it will feel like recognition.